Hello.
Hello. Good morning, evening there.
Yeah. Good
Here's
morning,
David.
good evening. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody.
Mhm. So because of the time difference, if people are wondering, 'cause every time I do these streams at different times during the day, people ask, "Why don't you do it in the evening?" Because of the time difference, David's out there in Singapore, so
Yeah.
we're working on the time difference, and yeah,
It's evening here. Yeah. It's
mm,
evening here.
yeah, it's David's Friday night. He should be out like at a party or something.
Nah, I'm a home guy, stay home guy.
Yeah, or working on your Gunpla. Anyway, so we appreciate you being here, David.
Uh,
Thank you
yeah. No,
again.
thank you for inviting us and
Mm,
inviting me back again here.
mm,
You know.
mm. Appreciate it. Always good to have you here. So you guys, I mean, if you've been here on the channel for a while, it's warm in here. You guys have maybe seen David here before. We've talked with him before, and he's also helped with judging a couple of contests here on the channel. So you guys should know David pretty well, Chocofalcon. But for anybody maybe who doesn't, you want to just introduce yourself real quick?
Oh yeah. Hi guys. My name is David Liew, aka Chocofalcon. I'm from Singapore and I'm building Gundam since late 2011. So I've been building for about 10 years plus. And yeah, you can find me on Facebook, find me on Instagram, find me on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. You I don't know about how regularly you would say that you do, but I mean, I know that you do post some videos from time to time,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
especially on Instagram as well. I know a lot of people really enjoy like the little like tutorial kind of tip videos
mm,
that you make are really nice, I'll say.
yeah.
So
Thanks. Yeah, I find that posting, I tried doing on for YouTube, but the thing is, doing a 10-minute videos is it's not easy, you know. So
yeah.
it's very difficult. Camera angles and stuff is like, oh my goodness. And after that, the editing portion of it is too much work for me. So I realized I prefer to work on short clips.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, with Instagram Reels, I realized that that's where I enjoy
Mm-hmm.
editing the videos and stuff and sharing it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I like it because yeah, it's just very like short and to the point. You don't need to do like a
Yeah.
whole presentation out of it. So
Yeah.
I think it's good for people who want to learn and who want to see like different like interesting techniques. You know,
Mm,
it's different from like the videos like you're talking about, like a 20 or 30 minute long YouTube video with like all
yeah.
these lighting and
Very
camera
nice.
angles and everything. It's
Yeah.
very like entertaining and like
Yes.
visually
I like
interesting.
them. Yeah, because you learn more. To be honest, you learn more from those longer video.
Mm,
Because it's not just about cinematics and stuff, but they're able to cover more stuff, and
mm,
you get to enjoy and watch and learn, right? Whereas shorter video, they are like shorter and precise, but sometimes I find it very challenging and difficult because um, there are certain valuable information, but if I put it in and then it start to become
mm,
too long, and then people
mm.
who watch it might not be interested and stuff. So I kind of need to balance and separate out certain information for the next video and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's always a challenge, right? Anytime I'm making any kind of video like that, it's always like, well, I want it to be like quick and snappy, but there's like a lot of kind of information like, okay, yeah, but if you do this, like this might happen, and then in that case you can do this, all like the kind of troubleshooting and different like context situations that you like try to be thorough and help people
Yeah.
out with, but it's hard to
Yeah.
do that in like a quick fashion.
Yeah, exactly. But it's fun. It's a lot of things to learn. Really a lot of things to learn. Yeah, creating
For sure,
content.
yeah. Mm. Always learning new techniques. So, you were once again for the fourth time GBWC representative this past year.
Yeah, fourth time. A bit embarrassing, but yes, fourth time.
Why is it embarrassing?
It's like how do I put it? It's like the fourth time going over, but
Mm.
none not able to get like any of the top placement and stuff.
Uh,
But it's fine. It's fine. It's fun going there. Meeting
yeah,
new friends. Catching up with old friends as well. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
yeah. I guess so. I mean, like we can talk about it some more later, but I mean,
Yes.
I'm sure you enjoy it anyway. I mean, like,
Yeah,
it would be cool to to place, I guess. But
definitely. Not complaining. But
yeah,
yes. Yeah.
mm,
Thanks for the opportunity.
Sure, yeah, of course. So you do that. You also do. I mean, we've got a bunch of stuff here we can look at of some different things that you do. But I mean, like I know one of the other things that you've been up to lately. You do like workshops and classes and other
Mhm.
stuff. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So what happened is that I quit my full-time job as a lecturer about 1.5 years back. So I went into to doing this kind of like a full-time, part-time thing, and I wanted to. So I started off like workshop, inviting them over to my place to do one-to-one workshop lessons and stuff like that. And those are paid workshop, yes. But at the same time, I do community outreach, which are totally free. So I reach out to like library or certain schools, if they need help with sharing the information, teaching the students and stuff. So I will engage the students, facilitate with the learnings and stuff, and share the joy of modern making. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's
Some so
mhm.
at some of those venues, it would be like with the school kids as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we have school, we have a public library. We have if there's any event, and if the organizer are nice enough or kind enough to allow us to do workshops and stuff. Yeah, we will go there to share things that
Mm.
mm, the community will need. So for example, very fortunate that Sparmex, I link up with Sparmex to see if I can get a sponsorship, and they are very kind to support me. So I got
Mm.
a few of their compressor, and the thing is that there are so many different variation of compressors, right? You have the baby compressor, you have the mid range, and you have a tank. But it's not saying that the tank is the best one most of the time. So I get to share, the different compressor to the public, and they get to try it out on their own as well, and see
Mm.
what is the most comfortable one for them to use, and they get to hands on instead of just through the video just talking about it, because sometimes we still need some hands on to
Mm.
really understand how to use the equipment and whether you are comfortable with it or not before you actually purchase it from wherever shop or
Mm.
places. Yeah.
I agree. It's very important because I think a lot of people, it's just hard to get past that nervousness, right? That is
Yes.
because, well, first you have to spend all that money to buy it, and you don't know how to use it yet, so you
Yeah,
feel like I don't want to spend all this money, and then I'm not going to be
exactly.
able to use it. It's going to be a waste. So they're kind of nervous about that, and then like once they actually get it, like, what do I do?
Exactly, because every tool have a certain price tag to it, right?
Mm,
But it doesn't mean that the cheaper means is not very good. End of the day, you
mm,
still have to depend on the individual budget, what's their
mm,
needs, what's their usage, and if they are able to maintain the tools on their own in the future and stuff.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really good opportunity. I mean, like, uh, I mean, because do you travel very far to do that? I mean, because the fortunate thing is
Uh,
that Singapore is relatively small, right?
yes. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, compared to, like, if we wanted to try to do something like that here, it's a bit more challenging. I mean, like, in, like, a larger city, you could still get, like, a fair amount of people, but, you know, it's
Yeah.
difficult.
Singapore is small, so most of the time the traveling time is about 45 minutes to 1 hour. That's for the furthest, side
Mm,
of Singapore and stuff. But most
mm,
of the time is very central. Yeah.
mm, mm,
So it's
mm.
not so bad.
That's convenient. When you wanna do, like, some kind of workshop and you need some kits for, like, the
Mhm.
students or people to use, do you usually have, like, them purchase stuff, or do you get is, like, Bandai there supportive, of
Uh,
that? Or what's the
so
situation for
so I don't engage Bandai or the distributor here for the kids.
that?
What
Mm,
happened is that the school side, they have a budget, and they will
mm,
get it from the distributor or whichever shop that they can get
mm,
it from, and I
mm,
will just go in to facilitate in terms of the lessons and stuff. Yeah, but if
mm,
it's for myself, then I will provide whatever tools that I can provide, and the students, if it's a one-to-one lesson, the students will have to go and get their products on their own. Yeah.
mm, mm, mm. Uh, so you don't, I guess, communicate or work together with Bandai there. Is there any particular
No.
reason? Like,
I think
you
it's
don't want
very
to, or?
challenging. No, I think it's very challenging to.
Mm,
I find that is for me, it's not very consistent to get
mm,
the workshop running every single week or every single month. And on
mm,
top of that, I still have my own priorities that I want to work on. So I try to put it in such a way that every month, I'll try to do one or two community outreach, but it's not always about model kit or Bandai. Sometimes it can be for airbrushing, sometimes it be scribing and stuff. So it's very challenging that I will get from link up with Bandai to get the keys as well. I think it's very challenging. So I've never thought of actually approaching them. Because I did try, I did wanted to, but the thought of purchasing the model kit is very very pricey. So I didn't want to go further with that. Budget issues.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, like in certain situations, it could be helpful, but it would be a lot of work. I understand.
Yeah.
That and yeah, Evan in the chat here actually posted a good question asking about Tetsujin. So Tetsujin is another kind of competition that happens there in Singapore, right?
Yeah.
Can
This
you
year
talk a little bit about
Tetsujin should be in June. I think the date are already announced already. The location has also been announced. It's in Bugis Plus. But I don't think I'll be participating too much this year. Like I was actually, you were talking about it in the last few time. I'm going to try to cut down on competition because what happened was that the past few years, right, being kind of like full time doing all this kind of stuff, taking a time out to do competition equals to not being able to have a proper income because you're spending the 2 months, 3 months to work on the kit, and you're spending every hours every day to focus on building it for that event and stuff like that, right? So end up my momentum was like broken down. I was like trying to do my own 3D model, 3D design, 3D print and stuff, and halfway through I got stopped because of an event or a competition. So it's very disruptive for me in terms of momentum. So the good thing is that since GBWC over, right, coming back from Japan, the holiday period and stuff, I'm starting to build back the momentum. There's actually a lot of things that I wanted to try out and do it. And so hopefully, yes, this year around, I'll be a good boy and try not to, spend too much time on like competition and event, and try to spend the time more on my own, personal, survival, I would say.
Yeah,
Income and
of
stuff.
course.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll at least attend, but
Yeah.
if you're not going to be too involved with
Yeah.
Tetsujin this year.
Yeah, I will just go in and say hi, take some photos, and share it around. Yeah.
And I guess to that point, are you planning on participating in GBWC again this year, though?
But most probably not. Yeah. Again, same reason. I think to build a model kit, for like competition like this, you really have to put in a lot of time and effort. And in my situation right now, as much as I would like to take part or to join, and stuff, but the thing is, on the other hand, I still got to think about my monthly income and stuff like that. Especially after for 1.5 years or almost close to 2 years, right? From the last full time job and stuff. I really need to stay focused and try to see if I can do better in some other areas rather than just event competition and stuff like that.
Yeah, I understand. But I'm sure it's going to be challenging to stay away from working on a GBWC entry.
It is. Yeah. Every time I see your post or like Ryan post or anybody else posting very nice stuff, very creative stuff, very detailed stuff, like, yeah, I feel like doing it, and there's so many ideas that I have, like backlog ideas and stuff, like, oh man, I really want to do it, but yeah, I have to maintain. I want to try something else first, and if I can get more pocket time to work on another masterpiece and stuff, yeah, definitely I'll come back to have some fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think like you're saying, you can work on we'll take a look at this here.
Yeah.
This one you sent. You can work on all of your job side of it, and then if you find time, so long as that your priorities are right, that you're spending the majority of your time on focusing on what you need to, and if you find some time, you can work on your GBWC entry. So this is a couple of images that you sent. I guess this is a project that you have in the works that you're planning anyway.
Yeah, so what happened was that I always wanted to do like a statue kind of finish work, which later on you see like the last year entry or 2 years back entry and stuff. But the thing is, I wanted it to be like mass produced. So the what you can see here is that you have like a RG Nu here, and my idea was that I wanted to create like a base to accommodate or to make your RG nu looks more appealing. So I'm not going to produce or not going to give you the create the RG nu, but it's more of the base itself. So you get like the storyline, where the Nu is fighting the Sazabi. You have all the effects parts for the funnels coming out here and there. And yeah, so the thing is, I always wanted to work on projects like this, but there's so many things, including like events, competition, etc., etc. So it ends up like my time for this is lesser and lesser. So this is one of the projects that I would like to try to finish up for within the next 1 or 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea. So here you can see so here you have like the different elements of it, right?
Yeah, so these are the old models that I was sculpting in some of the digital sculpting software like ZBrush and stuff. I feel like it's not appealing enough, so I might be redoing it. I was also trying out like 3D scanning. So what you see here, right, all these 3D scan are actually using the iPhone. They have this Polycam. I think the name is called Polycam. It's not using LiDAR. LiDAR is mostly for the environment, the room, but this is just using the photo geometry. So you take like quite a lot of photos, 360 from as much view as you can, and then it will try to process the cloud point, a point cloud, okay, and give you the mesh itself. So I'm using it more of like a placeholder to check like, okay, let's see if the composition, if this is the pose, how the composition will look like, the sizing, the scaling, etc. If I were to put the fin funnel and stuff, how it's going to look like as well.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a cool idea. Certainly not something that you see, we see also all kinds of different kits and tools and different supplies, but this is the kind of thing that's not really produced, right?
Yeah. It's challenging to produce as well. Because it's only for like a new Gundam, right? You put it the RI-78, it might not work anymore. So it's a bit challenging to just target just one model kit. So if this is successful, actually, I'm planning to do a Sazabi one as well. So you can have like both model kit together. You can, they are fighting one another and things like that.
Well, I don't know. I think I think anything that we like create for production, I guess, in this hobby, I think the nice thing is, like that you might be surprised that it's made for the new, but I'm sure people will come up with really interesting ways to use this with all kinds of different model kits, right?
Sure. Yeah, I hope so too. So let's see how it goes. I really hope that I can finish this in the next 1 to 2 years, because there's really so many projects that I have in mind, and I wanted to try it out. Yeah. So ever since I have a 3D printer, it's so much fun because you get to 3D print your own design, 3D print your own stuff as well, and it's like you can't stop. You really can't stop doing it. And there's so many things to do. Yeah. So I really have to prioritize and try things out one step at a time.
Yeah, that's really interesting project though. You also have this as another one here.
Oh yes, yeah. So this is a group build organized by M Workshop. It's another kind of like another studio or another shop here in Singapore. And what happened is that next month they have like a group build, and the event is on the 24th of February. So it's on a GM. So the topic itself is on RGM or GM itself. So my plan here was to 3D print like a GM, and hopefully I can finish it in time, paint it, share it out as well. Yeah, within that time period. So same thing, there's so many things I wanted to do. This is just and this is one of the older iteration of the 3D model. What happened was that halfway through I saw some of the mechanical design magazine, and like, oh man, the details on it is so much nicer. So I tried remodeling it, and halfway through I realized, I don't have enough time. So I actually engaged one of my students, right, to help with the modeling. So right now he's actually modeling for me, and every week we will go through it and see how we can improve on it before I actually start 3D printing it again. So if this goes well, hopefully, if the 3D print everything is well fitted, again, this could be one of the products that I'm trying to share it out with everyone.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, I can send on over to you guys as well in the future.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Reminds me a bit. I'm sure you've already thought of this. That it does remind you a bit of Ryan's work on the Gundam head.
Exactly. Yeah. So the thing is, you see those cage and stuff, right? Those are actually inspired from Ryan. not copy, inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I get to visit him last year, right? It's like, oh, we are all like drooling over his work, just staring at it, drawing all the slivers coming out, looking at it. It's very clean. So I took a lot of inspiration, not just only from Ryan, but many other artists as well. So this time around, the what we really want to do here is that we wanted to extend more of the inner frame onto the torso. So most of the time you notice it's just like the collar and somewhere around the cockpit, and that's about it. So this time around I want to see if I can extend it further to show more of the details around the chest and the back.
Yeah.
And for the head, right, if times permit, if I remove the head, we should be able to see some of the mechanical details inside as well, the face and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, especially like with the gym's head being kind of very basic, kind of boring
Yeah.
design, right?
Yeah.
If you only just focused on the head, I mean, you could make it really interesting and really detailed, but yeah, I think building out some more of the torso definitely makes it just kind of nicer to look at. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to strike like a balance. So we have the outer frame, which is a little bit detailed, not over the top detail. But then when you remove all the armors, right? I'm not going to provide or model out all the armor. So we only have the helmet and collar, and then the rest are all just internal details and stuff. And you get to see, like, appreciate, like, there's so much inner beauty within the kit itself. And
Yeah.
hopefully the whoever is the modeler or painter get to enjoy painting it, and building it up together. Yeah. And this is just version 1. Imagine, you can create your own GM, GM sniper and so on and so forth.
Sure.
GM,
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Yeah. All the different variants that you can make, of course. Sure.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So there's that. I realized after we kind of already talked about some of your workshops and stuff, I do have some photos of that here too. You can just kind of take a look back through some of these also.
Yeah.
So I think these are some photos from some of your different workshops and events, right?
Yeah, this is from the school. So in Singapore, we have Institute of Technical Education, ITE in short, and they have like a CCA club, like an activity club and miniature hobby basically. So you don't have just Gunpla, you have like military. You can see some tanks there, some planes, figure models as well, and Gunpla. So how it all started, right? Back then, 9 years back when I joined, the club is already there, but most of the kids, they are snap fit. So the school will provide the kit. You'll be very surprised. The school will buy the kit for them, and within a week, right, you can see that they finish the model kit very quickly. They just snap fit without the proper tools and stuff. Maybe some of them have a cutter, god hand, or whatever, but they're just snap fit. So it took us a while to introduce airbrushing, buying a paint for them. Instead of buying the model kit, we bought the tools for them to try it out. And finally, like now, we have alumni coming back as well to share the hobby with the current group, and you get to share that experience, the joy, the positive energy. They are very young bunch and they're very nice people. And I'm very fortunate that I get to share some of my knowledge as well with them. Yeah, so here we are actually at GBWC last year. These are the group that we take part together as a club. Very fortunate that one of them actually took place in the youth category. Yeah, and but it was very challenging for them because they have never took part in GBWC before. That's number one. So they don't know how the experience is like. Their skills are there. Some of them can paint very well. In fact, some of them can paint even better than myself. But they are also bothered with their homework, their assignments. Sure. So everything is like rushing. So we have 2 months plus to work together, but end up, most of their project are very similar throughout. So yeah, but I'm very lucky that they all get to enjoy and have fun together. Yeah, even though I'm like out of school for quite a while and I'm still able to go back and stuff. Yeah, so these are just some of the community outreach at different schools. Just going there 1 or 2 days to share the certain things lah. So this is the library. What you're looking at here right now is the library. Yeah, so going down to just share again some work in progress, etc.
So this is I mean, you can see there's kind of looks like people of all ages. You're basically just inviting people to come and build, and then you'll give a presentation.
So the good thing is that the library actually have a monthly event. Every second Saturday of that month, they
Oh,
actually comes together to build models
oh,
in this environment, in this library conducive environment.
mm,
So I went there once and I find that, oh, this is a very good place to actually
mm,
share and reach out to them, because they're
mhm,
all at the entry level. And if any one of them would like to learn more about it, there's no better place than here. And it's free, you see.
mm,
So
mm,
there's no worry that, oh, I need to pay money to learn things. No need. This part, you just come, you just sign up for it. Everything is totally free. Share it with them. And yeah, that's about it. So
mm,
we have like last year we have like this is one of the airbrush session.
mm,
So
mm,
what you see is that kid there is spraying just water. It's not
mm,
acrylic paint or lacquer paint. It's just plain water. And that paper you see there is actually a calligraphy paper. So
mhm,
once it have in contact with water, right, the black ink will come out. So once it
mm.
dries up, it evaporates, it dries up, you go back to the normal paper. So I thought this was a very good
Yeah.
opportunity for them to try out the equipment and the tools on their own before they even consider buying it in the first place lah. Yeah,
Mm. That's a super cool idea, actually. Yeah. I
yeah,
wonder how difficult it would be to find some of that paper here in the US. I'm not sure.
yeah.
Sure you could
I
find
bought
it.
it from online, some of the online shops,
Hmm.
and fortunately again, we have the small Sparmax baby compressor, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have to carry like a tank
Yeah.
one over. So I just carry like one of the Arizom and one of these beaters from
Yep.
Sparmax. Just hand over to them and then try it out. Yeah. So this is the group that we were doing the airbrush session with.
Mm.
Uh,
Very cool.
pretty huge group. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Very fun. Really looking forward to doing some more stuff like that here.
Yeah.
Hopefully pretty soon. But uh, it's all very cool. All right. I do want to take a look here before we get to talking some more GBWC stuff. Just take a look at a couple of your other work in progress stuff. Well, recent works, I should say. We have work in progress photos and
Yes.
finished photos here of a couple of your recent works. If you want to talk a little bit about these, this was a artifact project here.
Yes. Yeah. So what happened here was that there was an event called Kids for Kids. It's a donation event, charity event. So and at the same time, concurrently, there is this mega minicon, and it's like another event where you have modelers coming in to display and showcase your work. So I took some time to build the artifact since I have it lying around, and I've always wanted to build one after
Yeah.
looking at Ryan's work, but there's nowhere close to Ryan's work. But yeah, I just wanted to try it out since I have it, and I wanted to I have a base for it already. I bought like a hexagon base for it, and that's about it. But then after that, I realized it's very boring. So that's where I started to 3D model. So what you see here is actually 3D modeled by myself, and I 3D print it as well. I just got a printer during that time of the month, and I thought, why not 3D print for this, and just have fun and share it out. I never thought of as a production and stuff, but after that I realized that why not just try it. There's nothing to lose. Just try it out and see if there's any interest. And it's not just for artifact. Initially, yes, I actually wanted it to be for artifact because it's the size is for that, right? But after I realized there are many other miniatures kits, right? That is perfectly fitted for this base as well. Yeah.
This is this a 3D render or this is a photo? It's a conversion.
This is a photo. This is a conversion. So this is a photo of the 3D base, and that converge itself. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what just
It's another mini Zaku. I think it's from a cup noodle.
Yeah,
Nissin cup noodle is those small pocket Zaku.
Yeah, that's cool. So is that something that you have available? Like if somebody wanted to get one of these bases, do you have like the 3D files that you have available, or that you sell, or you sell those?
Yeah. So the thing is, right now I'm kind of like, if you want it, then I will print it on demand, and then I will send it out. I think last year I went over to Edmonton, right? So Shao from Ning Workshop, he have quite a lot of the base from over there. So if you're any one of you guys are from Canada and stuff, you can definitely reach out to Ning gift shops or Shao. You can get a few from there as well. Locally in Singapore, you can get it from Amber Shop. you can get it from any mecha. You can also get it from TR Hobby. Yeah. Or if you get it from me, then it's more of like it's a print on demand kind of stuff. Yeah. If you want a physical one, you can head to those shops.
It's pretty cool. I like it.
Thanks.
I like it a lot. It's very cool. Yeah. Those kits are challenging, aren't they? Just makes you
Yes.
appreciate how good Ryan's work is, right?
Exactly. Yeah. My jaw was like dropping when I saw the Deep Striker. It's like, damn it. Why is it so clean?
Yes. All right. Then this one as well, the duel.
Yeah. So I think after 2020, what happened was that I wanted to improve on some of my workflow regarding the effect base and stuff, right? So I wanted to try a new project and see if I can improve on the workflow and certain techniques as well. So I used this opportunity to work out certain things lah. So in terms of kit bashing, detailing and stuff, is pretty I would say normal, not over the top kind of stuff. It's really more for me to work on improving the workflow. Now, because in the past, right, later on we will share a little bit more. The effects that you see, those pink effects that you see, those previously was like hand sculpted, using clay and stuff. So as I move forward, hand sculpting is definitely not the way to do it. But I hand sculpted it because for competition, right? No 3D print allowed, this and that. There's so much restriction and limitation. But for this event, what happened is that I wanted to try it out, 3D printing and see what I can do. So I 3D printed, I sculpted a little bit and realized that again, it's not as good as what I want. So I 3D printed the effects and I went to recast it. So what you see here, this is the sculpted one. These are the older sculpt that I did, and I actually just reused them, melted the clay, and I resculpted it again. So it's not as smooth as what you saw as earlier, right, previously. So I have to actually remodel it in the 3D software and print it out. This is the casting process, pouring in the silicone, cutting the silicone into half, take out the things, and start to do all the casting and stuff. So as you scroll down in all the other photos, you'll see that the process is pretty fun for me, but at the same time, the result is not perfect. So you can see a lot of mistakes. You can see like all the flash coming out, right? So that's where all the resins are the silicons are not very well placed, and all the flash are all coming out, the resin are all coming out. So a lot of cutting, a lot of trimming, and this is one of those imperfect examples. So really have to sit down, take the Dremel, or sit down in the bucket of water and wet sand every single thing down, and I recasted a lot of them, to the point that it's like not all of them are perfect, and I got to pick one that I can use most suitable for that entry lah. But it's a very good process because how should I put it? There's a lot of things to learn.
Yeah.
And like it's just the casting alone, the silicone and molding itself is one thing, but to create the effect parts alone is like another thing. And yeah, it's so many things to learn, and I'm very happy that I get to improve along the few years, right, to reach this stage. And they can see how this is related later on to our new Gundam, right? The base and stuff. So I always wanted to apply what I learned onto the next project and stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think to your point that it's really difficult the first time, but then you know how to do it, and then you have that skill, you have that experience, that it's going to be easier and easier, to do it for future projects too.
Yeah, it's just very taxing and challenging because like the resin is not cheap, the silicone is not cheap, everything is not cheap. Yeah.
So you don't want to mess up, but
yeah, the learning journey itself is like, oh my goodness, it's fun. I enjoy it. The good thing is I don't do it alone, so I get to learn from many other people as well, and I get to share it as well. So it makes the whole journey more worth it, I feel more happier as well. Yeah.
Notice that you're using this very professional board here as well too.
Yes.
I mean, just something to keep in mind. I mean, like, I'm joking, but for a lot of people, that's just one of the things. But I mean, like, when it comes to what you were saying earlier about tools, you don't always have to use the most expensive tools, and this is another thing too. You don't have to buy money or buy products or tools and things that are going to cost a lot of money. You know,
Yeah.
you can make things, or you can make stuff that's going to work for what you need it for. And so, so being creative, right?
Yeah.
So the finished result here, it looks awesome.
Thanks. Things there's still a lot to improve on, but definitely fun. Really fun to try out new stuff.
And we were talking about this just kind of briefly before we started, but about making your project so that it looks interesting from all angles. You were talking about making it 360. So it's definitely, I mean, like with the new Gundam base that you were talking about that you were working on earlier, we have that. But I think with a lot of your works, and then we'll see when we start talking about the GBWC stuff as well. I mean, they're very circular, right? Definitely, you can definitely see that. I mean, like it has like a front point like this here. It's obviously like the focal point, but you can just tell how the whole scene is designed with that circular mind, right? I don't know if that's the best word for it, but you understand what I mean.
Yep. Can you go back to one of the back views? One of the back view. Okay, the one at the bottom. Maybe on the 12th, number 12.
12. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Are you able to zoom in closer to the backpack?
Yep.
Yeah, to the top. Zoom in closer a little bit more. Zoom in a little bit more. Is that? Oh, yeah. Okay. So what I want to point out here, right, is that I was taking a photo of this. After taking all the photos and stuff, then I realized I was looking through and I realized that there was actually a small area that I missed out the masking tape. So I forgot to remove. No, I think that's the decal, just above on the right. Just above, yes, that area, yeah. So you can highlight that area. Yeah. Zooming close. Yeah, correct. On the left, can you see like there's two
oh, the scratch kind of?
Yes. So what happened there was a very silly mistake. I forgot to remove the masking tape. It's so embarrassing right now, but I don't mind sharing it because that's the fun part, right? So after taking it, then then I have to retake the photo again after removing the tape and stuff. So I tear down everything already, and I have to take again. But
well, I mean, that's another thing too, you know, that it's good when that stuff happens, because then you don't let it happen again, right? It's a kind of mistake that, you know, it's gonna suck the first time, but then you learn from that. And
but things like that shouldn't happen to begin with. Oh well.
Yeah.
Good thing no one really noticed until like I bring it up. Everyone was saying that the decal was wrong, the scribing line is wrong, but no, actually it's the masking tape.
No, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have noticed. Maybe if there was a photo that was like close up of like that particular area, maybe I would have noticed. But yeah, certainly not just like looking at this. No. So all right, let's talk some GBWC stuff. Let me pull up these here for us here. So I've got these together. This is the year before last, 2022. Entry year first. We can talk a little bit about before getting into 2023's work. Should be from the work in progress here.
Yep.
So this one, can you tell us about this one?
Yeah. So this was actually right after 2018, after GBWC 2018. I was trying to think about, if I were to take part again, what do I want to build? You know, what can I? Because most of the time I'm just doing details. And after a while you get bored with it. So I wanted to do something different, something else. But at the same time, it's what I like. You know, it have to be something that I want to do. And all along, I'm always interested to try out effects parts. And in the past, right, I was using clay to sculpt the effects, and the quality wasn't as good as what I wanted. And until I realized there are many studios or many anime figures, right, and they have all these resin, very clear effects, and those are the areas where it started to hit me and realized that, what happened if I do something similar. I definitely got the inspiration from that side there, and do something similar like a statue figure, right, with effects parts and stuff. So I went on to try out sculpting using clay, and after that I realized not all clay are the same, meaning to say
Mm.
not all the clay can be used for casting. So
Mm.
I got to find those sulfur-free monster clay where it's very hard to sculpt, but at least when I recast, the silicone will not stick onto the mold itself, the model itself, and of course I have to learn how to pour in the resin, mix the resin, and things like that. So 2019, unfortunately, that's where COVID hits, right? And that's also the time where I moved into the new apartment here, and definitely time was an issue for me. So I wasn't
Mm.
able to finish it in 2019, and then COVID during that 2 or 3 years, I spent a lot more time to work on the main kit.
Mm.
By then, the casting of the effects part is already there, but the main kit itself, it was still kind of like a skeletonal model. Things have been going back and forth. The legs initially it wasn't supposed to be like a unicorn legs, but somewhere along the line I changed it back to a unicorn leg. It was a
Mm.
PG stripe, some other scratch build and stuff. But after that, I
Mm.
changed it back to a unicorn. It is again same thing. There's a lot of things to learn. It's fun, building up a kit that is so huge and detail. But the
Mm.
bigger you go, the more challenges, the more issue
Mm.
you'll face, right? The more mistakes you make.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's the fun part for me to try as much as I can to minimize those mistakes, but at the same time, talk about the design, how to balance the model. It's a huge kit.
Yeah.
You need to find the contact point. Otherwise, it will topple. Which it did topple a few times before. So you really need to find that contact point where the center of gravity is
Mm.
there. Yeah. So
Mm.
the concept itself is also very challenging because towards the end, I don't have much. I wanted to work on some concept like storytelling, which is one of my weakness, I would say.
Mm.
Uh, and that's where I came up with what you see here, which
Mhm.
is more of like these two people. They are actually um, like archaeology. They are trying to,
Mm.
based on the book that the person have or the notepad, they are trying to
Mm.
find this Asian relic, and
Mm.
then they come to this place and they realize that, oh, there's something here, but actually the main thing is actually behind the rocks, and then the story kind of review itself. You have the unicorn at the back. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, there's really a lot of things to learn here for myself, and to explore and to improve, yeah, moving forward.
Mm.
It's fun. It's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to look at with the piece, and like you said, it's huge, and so that makes it really impressive. That also makes it challenging for you, right? There's
Yeah,
a lot of parts to worry about
yeah. Because
there.
how should I put it? In photo, right? Most of the time they are flat. So when you
Mm.
see something that is flat, that you kind of need to think about your composition as well.
Mm.
So, but then when it's three-dimensional, when you get to see it physically, right, and you can see it from all angle, that's where the beauty will stand out because you get to see like the effect parts. That's one thing, but the effect part is coming around as a circle. But then on the effects part as well, you get to see like actually behind there's the shield, the weapon that is coming out. At the
Mm.
same time, there's like a butterfly effect on the bottom left. Yeah,
Mm.
so you don't get to just see one model in all 360. You get to see like different things going on at different time.
Mm.
There's always something to look at every corner. Yeah.
Mm. Um, what did you use for the base? I'm
The
wondering.
base,
Yeah.
blue form. They are just like blue form. I cut it out and try to
No, I mean like
form.
the base at the
Oh,
very bottom.
this base. You want to make a guess? What is it?
I mean, I don't know, just like a wood. I mean, just like a wood piece you can get like from like a craft store. They sometimes have these like round wooden like plinths, basically, right?
No, it's not. Okay, so I bought this from it's a clock. It's a very huge clock.
Okay, yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I took out all the components inside, and
Mm-hmm.
I just took the rim.
Mm-hmm.
So the component, I was thinking about how to reuse the component inside, and end up it's like, oh, I can't use it at all. So it's just a rim, and
Mm-hmm.
I actually sprayed gunmetal,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's it. So inside the rim, right, there's a turntable. There's like a turntable or lazy Susan, depending on how you want it. So that turntable actually helps to rotate the model. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to turn the model, but just have to gently just push the base, and the model
Mhm.
will just rotate on its own.
Nice, yeah. That's a small thing, but I just thought it'd be interesting. For the duel that we were just looking at before that, is that also a clock?
Yes, the clock is actually from IKEA.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe it looked familiar, like.
Yeah. So
There you go.
now you know where my base come from.
Yeah. Well, it's these kind of things that I think, like, a lot of times in these discussions, or just like even without the discussion, like if people are just seeing your work online and thinking like, I want to try that, you don't really think about like that part of it, right? It's not like something that you would normally think about. So maybe they're thinking about a lot, like, oh, how can I do this? How can I do this? And then you have to put it on something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's challenging because the base itself wasn't cheap. The clock itself was pretty huge. It's about 48 cm or something along that line. So to get the clock is not like a $10, $30 things. It's actually about $50 or $60 just for that rim. So now moving forward, I always try to find if there's a cheaper alternative. Thank goodness there are, and definitely not going to get such an expensive clock in the future.
Yeah. But so with this one, did you have any other kind of really challenging points? I mean, aside from just like you said, you spent a couple of years, kind of working on the model itself. Was there anything that was also like particularly challenging for you?
I think everything is challenging here. Yeah, because how should I put it? Um, it's fun. I enjoyed it. All the challenge that I go through, I kind of enjoy it. So I think the design part is the challenging. The shoulder especially, trying to redesign the shoulder, trying to because you see, Unicorn is a very unique model kit. The lines are all diagonal itself. So to work on it itself, I find it a huge challenge, which is why I enjoy it. So if you look at the legs, for example, as well, right? You notice that I switch up the angle, so you actually have a straight line going across rather than that diagonal exposure where you see the inner frame or the cycle frame, on the thigh area itself. Yeah, so it's a throwback to the older RX-78 or the older Mark II, where most of them they are just like straight line across and stuff. So even like again going back to the shoulder itself, the Unicorn shoulder are pretty squarish and blocky. So I always wanted to branch out or extend the shoulder. So I tried keep bashing, detailing, scratch building, but it doesn't look appealing to me until I redo it again. And here what I'm using here is actually the new shoulder, the new shoulder pad. And then on the front, actually at the tip of it is actually from the build strike. So I was taking the both of them and see if it works for me, because the silhouette is what I want, but the connection part of it, that's the challenging part. So that's where you've got to spend a bit of time to do a bit of layering and kind of bond them together. They are still detachable, but it's in a way that when you attach them, you can separate them for painting, color separation, putting them and then put them back together again. So yeah, even the face itself, we all know how the Unicorn looks, how Benchy and how Phoenix looks. But what makes this Unicorn different from the other three? So I have to kind of spend some time to redesign the fin as well. Even the face itself is a bit flare out, it's a bit different. And yeah, the cycle frame is another challenge in terms of color. So here, right, what happened is that I'm trying to do a bit of shading as well. So I can't recall the exact steps, but let me try to recall it. After, I think I did a bit of shading. So after painting the blue, I paint a little bit of white in the center. And then on top of it, I think I painted some prismatic color over it as well. It's not entirely obvious until like maybe you see it in physical form and stuff.
No, yeah, you can tell, I think.
Yeah, there's so many things. Yeah. even the crouch area is like, oh, so many things going on. Oh.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, actually, and that's a good opportunity for us to then move on to your next one, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of get the sense that going from that to then your next entry, you really wanted to kind of dial it back to kind of a much more focused.
Yes, more relaxed view. Yeah, because the next one, right? This one is last year, 2023. So what happened was that I only have about 2 to 3 months to work on it. So you compare to like 3 years, no
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
man, no way, no way you can squeeze that amount of things into it.
yeah.
So I don't have so much of a work in progress for this because I was like constantly trying to turn out the work and stuff, bouncing
Mm,
back the idea with one of my mentor, going back and forth with some of the ideas, and eventually you come back to this, and the details is definitely not over the top. We want to focus more on the concept part, the storytelling part, which is again one of my, I would say, my weaknesses, and I really
mm,
want to explore and see how to have fun in the area, and kind of balancing out again with keep bashing, detailing, which is again something that I like to do. Yeah,
mm,
so yeah, it's all about having fun and stuff. So you can see like some of the older idea, right? Is
mm,
not like what we see here at all. It started off even before this. There are a lot more ideas, and eventually somewhere in the middle, this was what we have. It's more like Mew Mew. I can't remember the girl name, but I only remember it's Mew Mew. You know?
yeah.
and and the story idea was roughly that okay, this lady or this person has already passed away. So if you're zooming closer to the feet, where you can see the petty guy, yeah, you can see
Uh,
some of the. So what happened is that that corner there is like an offering.
mm,
You have like candles, you have like the trusters, which is like teacup, and then you have the petty guy, or who which like a teddy bear for the
yeah.
lady,
Mm,
and you have like a vase with the dead flowers and stuff. So I wanted to evoke a little bit more of an emotion, some of a feeling where this person have already passed on, and then you
yeah,
have like a spirit coming out. So I was like sculpting it, the skirt, etc., and stuff, trying to make it as traditional as possible. And then you
yeah.
have like the Shinigami or like the death god here to kind of like, okay, let me guide you to the
Mm,
afterlife and
oh,
stuff.
oh.
So the hand that you see that is popping out, that's where you get to see the butterfly. In the
Uh,
end, that's where the butterfly is supposed to be.
mm,
So yeah, and it was a very fun part to do it. But then again, my time was so limited, right? I was
mm,
a bit worried that I cannot finish the figure in time.
mm,
It's not my strength to work on female figure. I would
mm,
like to work on it again, definitely. But yeah, yeah, I like this.
yeah.
Yeah. So the wings here represent the butterfly, but I find that again it's too big. The
Mm,
silhouette is a bit
mm,
too loud. It's again, if you look at the photo, right, everything is flat. So that big
mm,
wings actually hides away the silhouette, or the of the area itself. So I
mm,
decided to take it out and keep it simple,
mm, mm,
especially with the butterfly on it. I really want to show the butterfly, the silhouette of the butterfly. So
mm,
yeah, I wanted to keep the backpack simple so that we can really see the silhouette coming up. Yeah.
mm. So here it's kind of like drastically changed the. You still have like generally the same kind of concept there, but I mean, yeah, it's changed a lot to go
Mm.
to this new version, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm,
It's challenging because the thing is every time you have an idea, and then
mm,
when you want to change it, you will feel a bit of restriction. You will
mm,
think that by changing it, right, that means you have to redo all the work that you have just put in,
mm,
whether it's a
mm,
1 day, 2 day, 1 week, or a few months. But
mm,
if it's for the better, then I think it's worth it. And at the
mm,
same time, you train yourself not to be too rigid to just one idea, and you
mm,
listen to feedback. It's not just about your what you are thinking, what you're looking at, but when you share it out with everybody else, they share with you their feedback. Listen to it, and see how you reflect and review, and see how you can improve on your work, and
mm,
you just move forward with it. You know, yeah. So
mm,
for the cubes and stuff,
mm,
what you see those cubes and stuff, right? So actually, I was thinking, should I use the effect parts that you saw earlier? And I
mm,
realized again, time is a issue. I cannot 3D print and stuff, right? So that's where
mm,
I decided, okay, let's go with pixelation. Since now we come into like metaverse and stuff, I thought pixelation
mm,
might be a good topic. And initially, I tried with plate, which is very flat. And then I realized if it's flat, it's not going to help me with the support, because the kit
mm,
itself is going to be supported with this all these plate
mm.
and stuff. So I decided to try out using the cubes, which is a paint in the butt.
Yeah.
The cubes are actually pla rods. So they are like Tamiya pla rods. They are different sizes. You can get it from evergreen as well. And you chop it up into that size, and then you start sanding the edges so that it doesn't have those rough edges that you see here. So these are just a prototype to help me visualize if it works or not. And once I try it out, like what you see here, right? This is another prototype, and I think that, oh, it works, great, fantastic. That's where I start to block up more of the boxes. And those paper that you see on the left, the area rebuild, those are just paper. Just draw it out on the sketchbook, cut it out, and just stick it with blue tack, and just visually see how funny it looks. Whether it works.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. I mean, trying out, I think this is maybe a little bit out of order. That's fine, but this is kind of like the in between where you're going from the original idea and then kind of moving over to this new idea, right?
Yeah. So that's where you start to see like the area rebuild is like coming to the end of its life. And just like a caterpillar, right? The caterpillar, after you reach a certain stage, you will become a cocoon, and then that's where the butterfly will come out. So here I'm trying to do something similar where it's coming to the end of the life, but hope is not lost. There's still something happening, and then it digitalized like Digimon, Digivolve, and then it came out with a new area. Yeah, and the butterfly is there to symbolize that transformation. Yeah.
So the kit at the bottom is the HD, and this one's the full mechanics kit, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool. I love the base as well. I mean, the kit is really nice, but I mean, I do really like the work on the base again, and like the text there, and just the way that it's painted. This just looks really cool too. I like that.
Yeah. The text is actually sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I just like how the base here, the parts that you have, it's very visually interesting while not being distracting from the main subject.
Yeah. there's so much to improve on, to be honest. But it's fun, definitely fun, because 2 to 3 months just to squeeze out something. Again, it's breaking a lot of momentum, but working on something that I enjoy doing it, I think it's worth it. Even during the event itself, I feel like there's a lot of very nice work. I wasn't really expecting that I might get the top placing locally, but very fortunate that I get it and get to represent again. So I honestly don't have that expectation that or thinking that I might be even placing and stuff, because with all the rules in the past, you see sometimes the result are kind of inconsistent. Sometimes you don't know what they are looking for and things like that. But here I'm just trying to improve on the storytelling, which is again my weakest point. And composition and stuff, and I try not to go too crazy, overly too big. Try to keep it small and manageable.
I know that that is definitely one of the things here. I'm gonna pull up the image real quick for us. One of the things that I did really want to talk to you about, because in the past few interviews, talking with some other representatives, we kind of talked about, I asked them about what they thought of their kind of scoring, I guess, their placing.
Oh, okay.
If it was kind of what they expected. I was hoping that maybe you and I, and also since you've been there a few times, and we can talk a little bit more about the scoring. I'm going to pull up your photo here from your Facebook, if I can, real quick. Because I think that's something that I'm glad you mentioned about, because I think the scoring, you've mentioned a couple of times how you thought that the story, which would be the idea part of the scoring, was your weakest point. And so let's just talk about this here. Hang on, I've got the photo here. Gonna add it in for us. Here we go. So this so for people that are unfamiliar, like, so we've talked about this a little bit before, and other interviews, but this is basically how you're given your scoring for GBWC. It's in 3 categories: craftsmanship, painting, idea, and then you're given your total score.
Yeah.
So what exactly do you think, I mean, can you explain a little bit about like what exactly, like for craftsmanship, what exactly they're looking at, for painting, for the idea?
Okay. I won't be able to give you like a accurate or precise answer. I think it's
Mm,
more of my own interpretation and what I understand. Okay.
sure.
I'll start off with craftsmanship first. Craftsmanship basically is all your basics, foundation stuff. You definitely have to, get it right. And on
Mm,
top of it, what are the extra stuff or the advanced stuff that you are doing? What you're able to do, whether is it
mm,
keep brushing or whether is it scribing a line, or whether is it adding extra stuff on top of it.
mm.
Aesthetically and technically, the craftsmanship have to be there. You know,
I think the construction of your, diorama or base or whatever you have would be also part of the craftsmanship as well, right?
I believe so. I'm not the
Mm,
judge there, so I cannot
right.
confirm. I
Yeah.
will I will think of it that way as well. You
Yeah.
know, and I think overall you got to look at it as a whole kit. The
Mm,
base might not be the main focus or the one
mm,
that gives you the most score, because you look at it, if it's 30 points, if the base, how much point is the base going to take up, correct? So it
mm,
should be main on the main kit itself, focus on the main kit itself. The base is there as a presentation. We use it to present the kit as a
mm,
storytelling, or to as a platform to rise it up
mm,
higher.
mm,
Rather than a standalone model kit standing there, it's a bit
mm,
boring. So you need to have a base to share the story as well.
mm,
So the base part maybe is where the ideas come from. That's where maybe
mm.
both things will come in play.
Yeah.
And again, painting wise, I think why I fear here, I mean, not say fear, but a bit done a bit poorer here. It could be the decals. So if you look
Mm,
closely at some of my decals, right, there's actually a little bit of frosting around it because I'm using
mm.
Bandai decal. But no lah, I'm just kidding. Bandai decal won't cause frosting. It's actually more of my top coat. So my top
Mm,
coat I didn't mix well enough. So actually what happened was that the thinning wasn't good. So some of the areas, especially the leg portion at the bottom, you start to see a bit of the silvering around the edges. Do you notice that?
mm,
So I believe that's where my painting was not so strong. I will assume in that area. So
mm,
even before the result was given to us, right, I was like, you know, judging myself, being hard on myself.
mm,
What did I not do well? Kind of stuff like that. And that's where I agree with the result that I got. Like, oh yeah, painting definitely can be better. If I were to put like top coating, panel line, decals and stuff as under painting. And color wise, um I'm still thinking how to improve. I like the pink, the fluorescent pink, where you have like the lights are glowing up.
mhm,
I thought that was pretty fun and refreshing to have.
mhm,
And then when it comes to idea, it's only after you see the idea is actually 22 points. I don't know if it's high or low to you guys, but I find that the idea is pretty low for the points side,
mm,
and I realized, okay, the reason why is, to me, why I feel is low, right, is after looking through some of the past work for GBWC, there's actually a Korean junior. I think he won third place, and the concept was exactly the same. And the thing is that I didn't know until I finished everything, and
mm.
I really got the award and stuff. And it's like I was just looking through, the past work, and then I realized, oh my goodness, even the name reborn is exactly the same. Everything
Oh,
is,
really?
yeah. So
Oh.
so it's like, oh my god, it's not like, it's not like, oh, you're not the first one that did it. Someone else have already done it. It's like, oh my goodness, why did I miss that kind of stuff? That kind of things like that. So
Mm,
every time when we do work, right, we always talk about authentication, about reviewing our work, always check back and see if anyone have done it before. You don't want to have the clash of ideas and stuff. So I
mm,
think for me, the idea part, um, I score a bit weak in that area. Personally, I feel that, yeah, it could have been better. Yeah. So,
mm.
but anyway, it's a good learning, at least for me, right, in terms of creating a new idea and stuff, concept and stuff. Yeah, I did learn a lot from it. Yeah.
Do you think that, and this is something I've thought about as well. I mean, do you think that when it comes to your scoring, and I think this is particularly related to the idea category, do you think that the judges keep that in mind? Like, oh, this is what we're seeing in your piece. This is a similar concept to something that we've seen in another piece. It could be in that same year or a different year or something. I mean, I would imagine that they don't really take that too much into consideration, because there should just be, unless it's like a blatant copy,
Yeah.
Your work is presenting the idea in an interesting way, then I think that they probably shouldn't even take into consideration that, like, oh, it's kind of similar to something somebody else did a couple of years ago. But I don't
Yeah.
know. What do you think?
I think the fun part is coming up with refreshing idea every year.
Mm,
Whether you are the like, even if I were to win this year, right? The next
mm,
one, can I come up with something refreshing?
mm,
Something that can outdo my previous year. Try not to be 100% the same. If not, then how should I put it? Um, you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. It doesn't mean that you do the same thing over and over again means you're going to win again. I will not think that way,
mm,
because whoever you notice, it becomes a trendsetter. So
mm.
whoever wins that particular year, whether is it our king champion, or
Yeah.
or just a regional, or whether
Mm,
is it national or whatever, you becomes the trendsetter for that region or the area, or the world. And if everyone were to follow that trend, then the ideas are kind of repeated over and over again. The judge will be seeing the same thing over and over again. And if
mm,
they let the same thing win again, then the idea part, there's nothing about it, right? There's nothing refreshing. So I think the fun part about us modelers is that being creative, coming up with new things every time, and
mm,
the storytelling part, or even if it's not storytelling, even like you're doing a kit bash or detailing parts and stuff, that's where the ideas can come from as well. It doesn't have to really be focused on storytelling. Your
mm,
design sense itself can be also a idea portion.
mm.
Yeah.
That's true. Uh, with that in mind, do you think that Simon's style is going to be more of a trend next year, this year?
Definitely, because if you notice, the again, the top three are always the one that set the trends for the following
Mhm,
batch. Yeah, and a lot of us are already in that. Like for me, right, I'm in the detailing side, so I do a lot of kit bash, a lot of detailing. So we are always like in that trend, and then everyone will have their own category, own trend. They all follow what they
mm,
like to do and stuff.
mm,
Yeah, so definitely we have hope that, okay, good, Simon won with that particular style, which means it
mm,
gives hope to those people who are into that area, in that to that style
mm,
and stuff, right? Miniature
mm,
painting, hand painting, the kind of
mm,
weathering and stuff.
mm,
So it's very nice to have a different type of technique, style, visualization, concept,
mm,
to actually represent the hobby, yeah,
mm.
internationally and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think it's hard to say, whether the judges are just looking at your piece and judging it, without any other kind of context, or yeah, they're kind of thinking like, okay, this is something like some really fresh idea that's brought in with this one, or this is something that we would like to see, you know, uh, going forward, more people trying out this kind of style or something like that. I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's kind of hard to say, like you said. Um, but you're, so I guess, like, so do you? I think, like you said, you kind of already knew a lot of like where the faults were. Of course, anytime we're working on a piece, we all know where our weak points are already. But so I guess, do you take the score and then think like, okay, next year I really want to work more on my painting, for example, or you just kind of, you generally already know where you need to improve?
I think this is a good reflection.
Mm,
To like, because you see again, sometimes I might be blinded with my own understanding and stuff, right? But it's good
mm,
for someone else to actually share with you that, okay, this is where your weakness are, and you get
mm,
to improve on it. Definitely, you get
mm,
to take note of it and work on it for sure. You know,
mm,
so actually even before heading over to Japan, I was just again doing my own mathematics calculation and see and stuff,
mm,
and Simon was definitely one of my top pick,
uh,
and um, Thailand definitely one of my top pick as well. And it's, to me, is the both of them. You know, those two are like my number one, and then for my number two and number three is happens to be Taiwan and China. You know, so so for them to see them on stage and stuff is like,
Yeah, it is nice. Well, you've been there 4 times. You should have a pretty good idea. You should be able to guess better than other people.
It's still a hit and miss sometimes.
Yeah,
you won't know. That's the fun part about. I mean, yeah, for GBWC, you see, you expect the unexpected, and you just go in to have fun. You build what you like. You know, if you try to pinpoint, you like, even if you hit the bullseye and stuff, but the thing is, how should I put it? Do you enjoy doing it? You know, do you enjoy the process? Are you building for the event, or are you building for yourself? You know, are you, and when you go through it, do you really love what you are doing? You see, if you join the event and the idea is that you want to win, nothing wrong with that. It's just that if you have a lot of expectation that you put it onto yourself, right? And if you don't get it, then I find that it's more hurtful, or maybe harder to let it go or to bear it. You know, so for me, it's always about learning new stuff. Whatever that I learn, I try to apply and see what can I do better and improve on, and learn from this project and work on the new one again and improve on it again and stuff. Yeah. So whether to win, of course, is the bonus, right? And who doesn't want to win and stuff? But it shouldn't be like number one priority. For me, again, it's really more of learning new stuff and, moving forward with what I can do.
Sure. Yeah. No, yeah, like I said, I really like it, and I really kind of like and appreciate the fact that, like I said before, like the change from 2002 to 2003. I know, like, a lot of the reason, like, maybe if you had more time, you would have done something a little bit larger. But I think it's cool to see you going from something as big as you had in 2022 to this, because I mean, just knowing you personally, I mean, I can see how, like, kind of, it's a little bit kind of change in focus, and so it's good to see, not like just doing the same thing every year, right?
Yeah, it's more refreshing as well. Yeah, because I initially, before this, it was something bigger. It's still area, but it's a lot bigger and stuff. But again, it comes back to competition and time limit, a lot of limitation and things. So yeah.
Which entry did you think was the weakest this year?
Wow, why you post me this question? Oh my goodness. I think it's I think it's Singapore, unfortunately.
All right. Well, yeah, I think we can wrap up pretty soon. I do want to take a look. Maybe we'll finish on this, because I think this is probably actually a really good a good topic here to finish on for us. I think we covered some good stuff. This one here, some other photos from some different traveling.
Yeah, so this was during GBWC, right? Before the event started, we were just at the lobby. So what happened is that I don't know what happened, actually, to be honest. Maybe the budget issue and or maybe some last minute issue and stuff. But we all split up into different hotels. So I think there are some limitation to the hotels as well. There's not enough space for everybody, including the youth category now. There's more people. So we are split up into 3 different hotels, and in my hotel, I think we have Thailand, we have Vietnam, we have China, we have Indonesia. So Mark and Yanu, they are from Indonesia. Yeah, and who else? I don't recall. Malaysia? Yeah, I think we have Malaysia as well. And Philippines, yeah.
So yeah, the for people who don't know, and we've talked about this before, but yeah, in the past, normally they would have everybody all at the same hotel.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Which made it easier, easier for everybody to just kind of hang out together. And also, then, like, once it comes time to the event, everybody gets on the buses and then you go carrying your works to the event to get everything all set up and everything. So
it's still pretty similar, just that we are split up into 3 different groups. And then the thing is, Simon, because he bought his own ticket, he went to his own hotel. We're just texting him like, okay, we are on the way now, we are on the bus, and then he's like, I'm there already. I'm there waiting for you guys. Okay, we just reached. Oh, he's now at the 7th floor and stuff.
Yeah. Here's Jackie, who we spoke with before.
Yeah.
You guys will see some familiar faces here.
Yes, and there's Simon and Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
We have quite a few of them. Yeah, we have George and Evo Modeler from Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from Korea. Jackie again, Taiwan again.
This is the same Korean winner from 2019, I believe.
No, I think it's from 2012.
2012.
2012. Yes, if you recall 2012, the world champion third place was Johnny Raiden Zaku. I think it was bigger size. I can't recall if it's a bigger size, but I believe so. So yeah, he was the builder for that model. Yeah.
Anyway.
I hope I'm not wrong because that's what we were talking about it. We've been talking. He was sitting next to me, and then we were just talking about it as well. So, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, he looked kind of familiar. So, 2019 was when I was there with Tim, and he looked kind of familiar to that guy, but I don't know.
Okay, maybe I'll go back and check again. I might be wrong.
In Hong Kong.
Yeah, and Maker. Yeah. Handsome guy. Yeah, his kit is amazing. You're looking at it in person. Yes, you get overwhelmed with all the details and stuff, right? But when you go close to it and you see the Zaku, and then there's a mirror at the front of the Zaku, right? And you actually see the RX-78. So the thing is that you will assume that the RX-78 is in front of the Zaku, but actually no, there is a mirror in front of the Zaku showing the RX-78, peeling off from the Zaku itself. So it's a very very artistry execution, and then you have so many layers going on. You have like the chars in front of the ball, and then you have like a face of a samurai, of the silhouette and stuff. Yeah, amazing stuff.
Yeah, this was funny talking with Simon about the placard at the bottom that shows what's the base kit.
Yeah,
for some of them it's gonna be like quite different, right?
Yeah, and then it's like looking at Simon, it's like, huh? Why is it the RX-78?
That was good.
Yeah, so this is Indonesia, from Indonesia. Yeah, and Philippine on my left. Yeah, Sydney and Yanu.
That's before he changed into the pants, right?
Oh, did he change into pants? I didn't notice.
Weren't you guys talking about how he was wearing the same pants like in his model?
No. That's Thailand. You're talking about Thailand. Sydney is from Philippines. Hajime Studio.
Right. Oh yeah, I was
Philippines.
Thinking the other way.
Yeah. So they are from Vietnam. The two of them, Open champion and youth, if I recall correctly. Yeah. So this is a special one. So if you zoom in closer, I don't know if you guys know Mr. Yamaneko. You can find him on Twitter. You can find him on Instagram as well. He's the one that did the very huge Queen Meta or Mente or Menta. I don't know how you pronounce it. Yeah. Basically, he's the creator, and right now he's doing a Shinaju Stein as well. So it's a very surprise visit that he came down as well. After I think it's on a Tuesday evening. Yeah, so we are always in contact in Instagram. We are texting one another and stuff like that, and we are supposed to meet in March. I'm actually traveling back in Tokyo in March again. And the thing is, I didn't expect that I will go to Japan in December, right? So I told him, okay, I'm taking part. I won, I'm going to visit. If you have time, let's meet up as well, And unfortunately, during our conversation, he was working. He can't make it. So fortunately, on that day itself in the afternoon, he texted me and like, okay, I'm going to end work early. I'm going to come down to take a look. It's like, okay, I'm going to come down and meet you as well, So we awesome. Have a very short 1 to 2 hour chit chat, using the translator app, passing the phone around, talking about Gunpla, talking about the hobby, talking about how much we enjoy doing it, and how much we admire one another. So we were looking at all the works and picking up, what is our favorite works as well. Yeah, then going down to the Unicorn, take a photos together before we say bye-bye, Yeah, and then we'll meet again in March again. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're planning to go to Tokyo this coming March, right?
Yeah. Initially the plan was to go in March with my wife to visit like the sakura blossom and stuff. So that was before I even have the intention of taking part in GBWC. So I already bought the ticket way ahead, and then fortunately I won, and that's where I got the trip lah. Yeah, again as well. So this was from a Penang trip last year. Group of us, we are all like individual modelers. We know each other, but we seldom like sit down and chat and stuff like that, right? So we are all in our own individual man cave, and because of Penang, we have to travel from overseas from Singapore, take a flight to Penang, right? And that's where we form a group to come together and travel together. And that group is still very active right now, and we posting works and helping out one another, sharing tips and tricks as well. So this is most of the modelers, the Gunpla modelers. You can see some of the works at the back as well. Some of the things that they have done. I think you move on to the next slide, you should be able to see like the works in front of us. Yeah, that's the one that you have a closer look. So we have like figure painters, we have ship modelers, plane builders, Gunpla as well. So it's not just sci-fi. We try to learn from one another. We try to have inculcate that kind of values to one another. That it's not just you don't have to just do one thing or be in that same group that's only doing that one thing. You can actually reach out, and learn from one another as well. Make more friends, nothing to lose.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh yeah, Karen from Dream Studio, Hong Kong. Yeah, so she was there as well. Anupong, I think you will know him from Thailand, the handsome guy. Everyone is handsome to me. Suddenly, can't remember his name. Oh my goodness, this is so embarrassing. Boy, I think we call him Boy Alexi, Boy Alexi. Yeah, and then we have
Anupong.
the guy. So together with EA Gunpla, that evening we went to have like durian and stuff. They're very kind. They brought us around, they drive us around to have durian. Then they drive us back to the hotel. Yeah, they were nice, very nice. Yeah, and this is the most, I have to say, the most memorable part. Akio, I think you know Akio, right? He's from Canada as well. And in the middle, you have Sophie, his wife. Very nice person, very nice family. The funny thing is that they always wanted to come to Singapore, and we always have the arrangement that they'll come to Singapore. So I will always ask, when are you coming? Where are you coming? Where are you coming? But no response or no fixed answer. And then all of a sudden, one day, they tell me, bro, I'm coming tomorrow. Like, okay. Like one day notice, like, okay, I'm going to put down everything. And so we had a lot of fun during the next 2 days. They came over, we brought them around to the hobby shops, and visit to get stuff, have a lot of good food, local food, mala, and all this kind of stuff, and have to send them off. It was a very different experience for me, to be honest, because to have like a foreign friend from overseas to come all the way here to Singapore to spend the time together with you, it was a very different feeling for me. So I really appreciate that friendship that I have with Akio, and the best part is that my wife as well, she can click very well with Sophie, which is Akio's wife, and we click very well all together. So that is something that is, to me, is a blessing in disguise. And so once they actually went back to Vietnam, and then follow on to Canada again, right, Edmonton. That's where my wife and I we booked a ticket to Edmonton in September. So right after I finished my 1 week earlier before the deadline of GBWC, that's where we fly over to Edmonton and meet up with them. So this is Ing's gift shop. The one on the left you see is Shao. He's the owner. And then we have Akio, you have myself, and then we have Ryan. Look at the back. Look at what he's buying.
I know. I was noticing that too.
Yes, look at 2 big box, Ryan. Yeah, so they're all very nice guys, We went there for 2 weeks. The funny thing is, the first week, right, I felt you. I caught a cold, and I was like, you can see some of the faces. Like, I'm like horrible, We went to so many places, but I don't get to enjoy because I'm so sick and stuff. I'm always sleeping in the car, like oh man, I'm just so shy. I just went. We were traveling from Edmonton to like Bath, and then we went to meet up with. We went to Calgary as well to meet up with TGS, Jess, and the rest of them of the gang as well, Kevin as well. So we have Korean barbecue there. But at that point of time, I was like, oh, I'm so dead really. You know, my energy level is like so low. You know, I was suffering from the cold, suffering from all that cold illness and stuff. But gladfully, you know, they take good care of me, and after a few days, I recovered, and that's where all the crazy stuff happened. You know, back in Edmonton again. Yeah. So this is where we our jaw are dropping. You know,
Yeah.
to see Ryan's work. You know, looking it close up, is very different from looking it through photo. You know, the photo is already amazing, you know, so well taken and stuff. But when you look at it in person, you get to see like, it's you know, Ryan's in the chair right now, right? It's like,
yeah,
wow, it's like so clean, you know, so perfect, like impossible, man. It's like, oh my goodness. You know, and his work area is so small. It's like even smaller than what I have, you know. And you get to see like, oh, he's really working very smart and very well in that small area, and how he you know dedicate his space just for Gunpla alone. Yeah, I love it. You know, yeah. And the best part, he's a very good cook. Yeah, he cook
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Ryan and Akio. I miss you guys. Tien too. Tien, Hannah, Sophie, and Stephanie. Yeah, I miss all of you. Yeah, they're all very nice. This is I'm still sick, so you can look at my hair. It's like, oh, I was just sleeping that whole day until, oh, Ryan's coming. Okay, wake up ready. Okay, let's prepare for dinner.
I thought that was just the style. Looks good.
No, I was really ill at the point of time. Yeah. So this is also at Calgary. That's where TGS. Yeah, I was still very ill. I can't smile very well. My face is like, oh, I'm going to die soon. But it's a very nice experience, you know, get to travel around with them. You know.
Yeah, I like this one. There you go.
Yeah, this was where I was still recovering, but this is where I still have a bit of energy. I can go a little bit crazy and have fun with them. You know. Yeah. Initially, we were just like squat down, peace sign, you know. But let's try something else. Let's do something funny. Yeah. Then we have the boy band. Yeah, we have quite a lot of fun. I think that's the memorable part. You know, besides just Gunpla or hobby, we get to share, you know, the common interest. We get to meet up with one another. We get to have fun together. You know, I think that's the memorable part.
For sure, I'm the same way. Like anytime, usually like when I'm meeting up with people who like I know through like the hobby, through Gunpla or whatever, usually like once we're actually meeting and in person, we don't really talk about Gunpla. You know, you just hang out and talk about other stuff. But I found that
you
too.
talk about like your you know, your life and stuff, what you do as a person and things like that, how many similarities that you have, you know. And then after that we come to Gunpla, okay, that's a different topic. Like, oh, everyone gets serious, everyone is like, you know, and stuff. Everyone go get geeky, you know, kind of nerd mode.
Yeah, for sure. And like I think it's harder to talk about without like, you know, if you don't like have something in hand or you're like actually in your workspace. If you're just out at a restaurant, it's kind of hard to like talk about Gunpla stuff, I guess. Maybe, I don't know, but
yeah.
All right, David, so any other kind of last words of wisdom, motivation, inspiration for anybody?
Have fun, I guess. It's always about having fun to me. Don't stress out. You know, if you stress out, then it's a hobby, right? You're not supposed to stress out, right? So just have fun with what you are doing. If you need help, you have any question and stuff, do reach out. You know, reach out to not just myself, reach out to Zach as well. There's so many people out. Yeah, there's so many modelers out there who are, you know, so well polite manners. You know, they are very well educated in the Gunpla industry as well. Anyone that you inspired to be, if you're following them for a while, just reach out to them, talk to them, you know, just text them. Yeah, you know, so don't be afraid to try new things. You know, always move on and learn new things and improve from there. Have fun.
Yeah, exactly. And again, as we mentioned at the start, guys, David has his different Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
Twitter, no, I don't use too much. I use
Twitter,
yeah,
actually not that much, yeah.
Yeah, I just stalk people. Yeah, my Twitter is like dead. So you can find me on Facebook. Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. But most of the time, I'm active on Instagram. Yeah. So just find like Chocofalcon. You should find something along that line.
Yep.
Thanks.
All right, guys. And for those of you who joined us this morning, or whatever time it is for you, thanks for hanging out. If you guys are watching later on, again, thank you so much just for checking out the interview here with us today. Thanks to David for being here.
Thanks.
And USA Gundam Store as well, shout out for making it all possible too. Check the link down there and get some cool stuff. But David, till next time, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.